All right, so this is day one, Carnivore Diet. Initially, when I wanted to start this challenge for myself, I was just gonna do 2 or 3 videos that were kind of documenting the 30 days of doing the Carnivore Diet. And I spoke to a friend, and she was like, I think it'd be a lot more interesting if you did a video every day. And that's not really what I wanted to hear because that's a lot more work from me. But I agree, it'd probably be more interesting if you could follow along. So I'm gonna try to do shorter videos daily. And hopefully I can keep up with it and not get lazy, but I think it'll be doable if I just keep these videos short. So this is day one. My plan was to do intermittent fasting, 16-8, so 16 hours of fasting, 8-hour window of eating, and my plan is to do that from the window of eating 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's 1:45, and I haven't had my first meal yet. That's just because I recorded the first kind of episode for the YouTube video or whatever. So I was doing that and I just got done with that. So I'm gonna try to do shorter videos so you can see what it's like. Maybe I'll film a few of the meals, some of the meals I'm making, symptoms I'm feeling, if it's feeling good, crappy. My first meal that I'm gonna cook right now, I'm gonna do it on a green egg and smoke it. It's a 10-ounce ribeye steak from Butcher Box. And to be very clear, I've thought of reaching out to them because I chose them not for any other reason that I've just heard great things about them as far as the meats go and how healthy they are. But I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not getting paid for them. In fact, I paid for the Butcher Box. I paid for all the meat myself. I didn't ask for a discount. I'm not sponsoring them. So I don't want anybody to think this is a promotion for them or for anybody. I chose them. I'm trying it out. I'm seeing how this feels. And what my physical and mental symptoms are after doing this for 30 days. So yeah, I'm gonna cook my first meal now. Here we go. So I went to start grilling my first meal and remembered I've been needing to buy a electric charcoal starter for my green egg. My last one broke. And so I went to start cooking, realized I need to go buy one of those. So I went to Ace Hardware and experienced my first temptation of this whole thing. I'm not even a half a day in and I'm checking out and I see licorice and sweets and all this stuff that I would normally just want to buy. I had to walk right past it. Not even that, I was like, oh, I should buy some good seasoning for my steak. So I should have studied this a little more as far as seasoning and all that stuff. I went to buy a steak season and looked at the ingredients, and there's yeast and veggies and all these things that I can't eat on this diet. So I might just have to do salt for this first meal. We'll see. All right, this baby's starting to cook. I just use this electric starter on the green egg, and I use this hardwood royal oak, this hardwood lump charcoal. I've always liked that. Tastes really good. This is my 10-ounce ribeye steak. Before I really dig into researching this, I'm just doing Himalayan salt on it today. You might be like, that's boring, but that's what I'm gonna do. So this in this diet is what I'm looking for. If you look at the ingredients, grass-fed beef ribeye steak. Literally the only ingredient is the thing itself. That's what I'm looking for. I am not a bloody steak type person, so I'm gonna go for the internal temperature of 145. All right, got it on there. There it is, first meal going in the smoker. All right, so here's my first meal on the Carnivore Diet. This is a 10-ounce ribeye steak. I'm pretty hungry, so I might eat this whole thing, but I don't know, we'll see. I smoked it at like 300 degrees for, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. All right, so first bite, here we go. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Okay. The steak is super good. Okay. Butcher Box, nailed it there. It is really good. The thing that's gonna be hard for me though is I love eating steak with veggies like Brussels sprouts, green beans, I mean, that was good. I'm losing my train of thought. Roasted carrots, asparagus, but I gotta eat it. If it's all this good, I'm down for now. But yes, I would love a bunch of veggies surrounding the steak. That's the thing that will be hard for me with this. One thing I will say about this, all I did was put salt on this and I smoked it. I don't even know if I needed to put salt on it. This has so much flavor on its own. So that's one good thing. I'm not adding a bunch of sauces and stuff that I don't know what's in it. Literally the steak, the salt, that's it. So going good so far. So I'm gonna eat the whole thing, I think. I just got back we got back last week from a week-long trip in California. And like when you're on vacation and stuff, you just, I mean, we ate pretty healthy, but you still indulge and, you know, eat and drink what you want. And so I've definitely been hungry doing the intermittent fasting, not eating until 1:30 or so. So I'm just gonna eat the whole thing and we'll see how it goes. First thoughts though, I don't know if, I can't remember the last time I just had meat for my meal, even like a burger. You've got, you know, like tomato and lettuce and all that stuff. So this is the hard thing, is it's really, really good. Like the steak is really good, but it's also really boring to me so far. And this is my first meal, so it's hard to, I can't really judge it yet. I haven't really done it that long. But that's the thing is, I think variety will be tough for me, is getting variety, doing different things. I always like a lot of variety on my plate when I'm eating. So I will see how it goes though. But I also decided to eat the whole thing because the biggest thing whenever I start these things, like no caffeine or anything, is I get migraines. So I'm like, probably best to eat a little more than I normally would have, but I don't feel like stuffed or full. I feel good. Like my stomach doesn't feel distressed. I don't feel whatever. So we'll see in an hour or two if that holds up. And the other thing is, I'm realizing already this is gonna take a lot more planning than normal eating, because my goal is to get at least 30 minutes of exercise in every single day. My wife and I are gonna go to yoga tonight. That's what we're gonna do for our exercise. The problem is my intermittent fasting starts at 7 p.m. And so this yoga class is at 7. So we're gonna go do an hour yoga, which this class we go to is a little intense. And so I feel like I'm gonna be really hungry after, and I'll want to just come home and indulge in something, but I'll really just have to have the control and get ready for bed and go to bed. So I'm looking forward to it. It's might be fun, it might be awful, we'll see. All right, I'm doing the second meal of the day, and it's just gonna be a chicken breast from Butcher Box. I'm gonna put it on the smoker again. And yeah, let's see, it's almost 6 o'clock, so I got about 1 more hour in my eating window until my intermittent fast starts. And so I'm just doing my last meal of the day before I head out to yoga, and it's just a basic chicken breast. So we'll see. I really don't feel super hungry after having that steak. That was at like 2, so that was like 4 hours ago. So this is just from Butcher Box as well. It's chicken breast, no antibiotics, non-GMO, verified, organic. So I just got done with yoga and I'm freaking toast. I'm tired. That was such a hard class to go to. It was a hot yoga class, yoga conditioning, and it was hard. But I am almost at the end of day 1. It's like 8:15, and literally all I ate today was a 10-ounce steak and half a pound of chicken breast. The rest was just a ton of water. I probably drank a gallon of water today, because when all you're consuming is a couple meals of meat, water's been my best friend, just been chugging it. So yeah, so that was an hour of yoga, steak, chicken, intermittent fasting. Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward day. It's way too early to tell any benefits or negative side effects. I will say though, from intermittent fasting, one thing I do feel, because I've done it before and fasted many times, but there is kind of a calmness that kind of accompanies fasting, which I really like. So that's one thing I have noticed today, is not rushing right when I wake up to have like a coffee or something sugary or a big like carbo loaded thing. I've noticed that today. I've been a lot calmer and felt calmer. So all in all, that's a good benefit. It's definitely not like an immediate benefit of the carnivore diet. It's just what happens when I've been a little more conscious and not about what I eat, when I eat, and not just rushing to just eat every second I'm hungry, because that's a lose-lose battle. But it's a good first day. I'm nervous for tomorrow. I'm trying to be positive about it, but usually in the past, I've done this many times where I've gone a week, a month, a year with no caffeine, no coffee, no soda, nothing like that. And it's usually days 2, 3, 4, 5 that are really, really hard for getting off. And then for me, the time a couple years ago, it was the worst. It was like 5 straight days of migraines, but I was also drinking a lot more sugar and caffeine. So I think this one will hopefully be smoother, because I've really just been having a cup of coffee a day. I had one yesterday I had 2 yesterday because we drove from California, but so it'll be interesting to see how phasing off of the caffeine this time will be. But yeah, it was a good first day. It was interesting. My take on what I ate today was it was delicious, but it's kind of boring just having one piece of meat on your plate. So I think that'll be the hardest thing for me, is finding like a diverse set of foods that doesn't feel boring, because I'm also trying not to over season. I went to grab my favorite seasoning today, because they're like salt, pepper, all that thing's totally fine to do when you're on the carnivore diet. And so I went to grab my favorite seasoning. It's just the Montreal steak seasoning, and it's just, you don't ever look at I've never looked at ingredients much before, but I looked, and it's just loaded with stuff I can't eat. Not just veggies, but it's full of yeast and all this stuff. So it's just, I was like, shoot, I'm gonna have to figure out something else. And I looked at, when I was at Ace today getting our charcoal starter, same thing. I just went to grab like a steak seasoning, and it was just loaded with all kinds of stuff that I can't eat. So I'll probably, after 30 days, be less strict on that. Like, I want to enjoy what I eat too, and if I can tolerate certain spices and seasonings, I would love to like do roasted jalapenos on meats. I love that. So those are the kind of things I'm going to slowly implement after 30 days. If I'm feeling good, just slowly implement things and see if any of them have a negative effect afterwards. I mean, maybe after 30 days I won't be feeling good, so maybe it'll be as easy as that. But my friend did tell me, she said a lot of research she has read for your gut biome to really turn over and kind of start on this new progression of healthy gut biome and all of that. She's like, 30 days is great, but really like 90 solid days testing this out is even better. So I'm going to see how I feel. It's literally day 1, so I'm making a lot of assumptions. I'm making a lot of assumptions right now how I'll feel tomorrow. I could be like, in the next 5 days, just like, this is rough, don't do it. So anyway, been a good first day. Thanks for watching.